Hey, this is Joe Castiglione, and you're listening to Not Another Sox Podcast. Can you believe it?
Yankees suck! Yankees suck!
Buenos noches, amigos, and welcome to another episode of Not Another Sox Podcast. I am Jack Webster here with our producer, Ian Doran, coming at you live from Providence, Rhode Island, and coming at you live from Sydney, Australia. We have the Red Sox yapper, Hollee, on. Hollee, welcome aboard.
G'day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, you had to get that out right out of the way. Just absolutely. Well, you
Jinx with Adam in the chat.
Yeah,
Duncan.
Yeah. You definitely own the record of farthest guest joining us and biggest time zone difference. So we really appreciate it. It's 6 p.m. here on the East Coast. What time is it over there?
It's a bit after 10 a.m., which, I probably should be more awake than what I am, but I worked late last night, so I'm was struggling to make the deadline in terms of just being awake and being online.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. I know time zones in Australia are somewhat crazy, right?
A little bit. I wish I could get a graphic up, but if you divide Australia into 3 sections, in the winter time it's 3. But we're currently in our summertime, which is where some of the states decide they want to do daylight savings, and then the other ones are like, no, we don't want to actually. So it now leads to 5 different time zones.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, and the craziest part, we work kind of similarly. We have daylight savings and everything, and then New York fans are still stuck in 2009, so there is that.
The last time they won a World
Series.
Really? I thought they were stuck in the 1900s with all their 27 rings or whenever they got them.
Yeah. Back when there wasn't any.
Back when they were a
TVs.
dynasty.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am so ecstatic to have you on, Hollee. I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. To me, it almost feels exotic to know that baseball exists outside of the United States of America. Even though we love the WBC and Canada has teams, Australia clearly has teams, Japan, Korea, Venezuela, all the South American countries.
Name as many countries as you can right now.
Okay. The Straits of Gibraltar. But
do
so
the Animaniacs song that da 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 da.
Yeah, that's exactly what that is.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know that song, but if I memorize that song and sang it on the next episode, would you guys pop in and listen?
Yeah, that would be very impressed.
Wow. Well, chat, you can go crazy with that information, but it's so awesome to have an international baseball fan on, just because I'm curious, as far as baseball takes go, how people around the world feel about how the sport is being played, how things are, the perspective is different. So I'm really excited that you're here and that we get a chance to talk about baseball. I was asking Jack before we came on, apparently Australia has a pretty strong WC contending team.
I'm optimistic about our little Aussie team that's coming in this year. When you think about baseball globally, obviously America is the giant that it is. And then I think it's actually very funny that America were the ones who invented the sport, but now Japan has kind of overtaken them at it.
No.
You've got good players from Canada. You've obviously got good players from the Dominican Republic as well. It's pretty big there. I would say that it's actually quite big in South Korea too. They've got their league. And then, Australia, we're a bit more, it's a bit more of a minor niche sort of thing here. It's definitely not a major sport that a lot of people follow or go for. But there's subsections within the sports fan community who do really do get into baseball. Canada mentioned pop. But yeah, for us, it's it's kind of there's little underdogs that are part of our Australian league, and then hopefully it will lead to maybe a bit more exposure for some of our guys who are like actively playing. And I know that there's a few Australian players, like Australian born, who then go over to the States to kind of like play in the college leagues to potentially get the opportunity to be scouted by like the prospects and such. So it does exist here. It's definitely not as big as what it is in other countries. Like, it just doesn't quite have the fan base, doesn't quite have the exposure, doesn't quite have the advertising and the funding. But like the people who then go through all of that, like, you know, lack of resources compared to many other sports, which is like, we are a big sporting country for stuff like rugby league, or AFL is our Australian football. Like, for the major sports in our country, they're very, very well funded. So to like consciously choose the one that basically gets the least amount of attention, you have to be pretty passionate about it. So hopefully that translates into the talent.
So I'm going to ask you like the most arrogant United States of American question that I could ask, but like, is the dream for Australian baseball players to play baseball in the United States?
Yeah, it sounds like, you know, it sounds a little bit arrogant, but it's like, it's called the major leagues for a reason. I think that playing in the MLB is kind of like any global player's aspiration, because it's like, it is the best league in the world. So I guess that's why you guys get to have the World Series, even though technically it's America versus America. Plus Canada.
Not this last year.
Plus Canada.
Yeah,
technically
plus Canada.
still North American. Technically still North American.
Yeah, actually, I think you have a nice little history tidbit as to why it's called the World Series, even though it is domestic, right?
Yeah, I heard a story of this once. I have not been able to find it anywhere else, but like the first one was like sponsored by World Magazine, so they called it the World Series. So I don't know how true it is. I heard it on like some tour of like a MLB stadium. I don't even remember if it was Fenway or not, but I'm choosing to believe it. So you know what?
I'm choosing.
This is how like, you know, facts are made nowadays. People just tell each other, and that's whatever you want it to be.
Right, right. And if
sponsorship so good,
yeah,
right.
I was gonna say, like, sponsorship so good, it's outlasted the actual company that was sponsoring.
Yeah, I mean, my Nokia has outlasted every single phone I've ever had. So
I'm on an iPhone 14, and now that they're up to the 16, the battery is just instantly like, dying.
It might
in 3
catch
hours.
fire any second. Yeah,
pretty much.
iPhone users, why don't you guys get Androids? You know, like adults.
Well,
like
I
the phone
did.
that you've had for 7 years.
Yeah,
Honestly, that's a selling point. That's a selling point at this time.
Yeah.
I had the Samsung Galaxy Flip for a while. The first one, I honestly loved it, but unfortunately, it's a gimmick phone. It's nostalgia bait, and it got like a crack in the middle, and the screen pretty much died the next day, which was devastating. So I did enjoy my Android experience when I had it, but yeah. Plus, like with either phone now, be it Android or iPhone, they keep shoving so much AI shit into it. I'm about to go back to like a brick Nokia.
Yeah, I miss like my Envy, where it's just like the flip up screen and I have the full keyboard. Like I might need to revert back to that.
I've thought about it. Like, you can get a track phone at Walmart for like $10, and then it's like 10 cents a text. Sick.
Reject modernity, embrace tradition.
Yeah, absolutely. But you did mention, you know, the ABL, and you know, obviously it's the only league there, if I had to imagine, right?
Yeah, especially with the way that it exists at the moment. There's definitely not much of a competition for it. It's a bit of a weird thing to describe, because I personally don't even know like the context and the history about it that deeply. But like, originally there were 6 teams, or I think there might have even been 8 at one point. At the moment, this season, it's kind of unfortunate that there's only 4, just because there were funding issues. Like, that's how small the sport is here. There's been like ownership changes, lack of trust within the fans, that sort of thing. So the team that exists, there's 2 teams that exist that don't play actively in the ABL, called the Canberra Cavalry and the Melbourne Aces. And then the Melbourne Aces, at the moment, they're playing like some exhibition games. So it does exist outside of the ABL, but it's kind of weird to see a team that was in the ABL that's technically not, that's actually playing at the same time. So a bit of that going on at the moment, but
Yeah, I have actually been following the ABL like essentially since its inception, and they've made it a lot harder to follow in terms of like accessibility. All the games used to just like be on
YouTube stream.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Exactly. So like especially when I was like in late high school and college, I was like I'm up at 1 a.m. anyways. Like, I might as well watch this. But, now being an adult, having a job, it is a little bit harder. And, it is, harder to watch even. But there's some honestly good talent and good baseball out there. So, like, are there like any dudes that like you might know that we might be wanting to watch? I know you've been tagging the Blue Sox like first baseman, like please Craig Breslow sign him. But like, is there any dudes like we might actually be on the lookout for?
Well, that's a fun fact that the guy that I'm tagging from the Blue Sox at first base, Eric Radicek, he is actually in the prospect system from the United States. So he's a Marlins prospect at the moment. So you get like a good combination of players that are like up and coming prospects who are like on track to potentially make the majors in a year or so, in a few years, however long it takes. So he's definitely someone who I'm like, hey guys, we don't have a first baseman. Here's this guy that's doing really well with runners in scoring position and has no errors so far. I'm not going to say no.
We haven't had that in years, so.
No, I know. I'm like, hey, he's got a good slug percentage. He's got a good on base percentage. His batting average is decent. Granted, it's in like the Australian system, which is different comparatively to the American leagues. And like I actually compared his stats a little earlier to like, how did he do this year in like the American minors? Cause I think he's either AA or AAA in the Marlins. And like, it was interesting to see like his stats, like they weren't terrible, but they weren't like what they are over here. So I'm like, fingers crossed for him that it kind of creates like a launching pad. And like, he goes back to the States and next year just like smashes, like launches his trajectory. I think that would be really cool.
Is Liam Hendricks not enough? Is that not enough?
Well,
fuck, she's so
that's
mad.
No,
I'm
not bad.
Stare.
No, that's just unfortunately my
sorry.
face.
Oh.
I have that face where people are like, "Oh, when I first met you, I thought you were such a bitch," and I'm like, "Thanks."
Oh, sick. Yeah, I love that.
I unintentionally do that kind of like look or anything. No. Knee-jerk reactions, but I promise I'm not angry. No, like I agree with what you were saying. It's kind of like that was where my mind was going, because like I was mentioning the Americans who do play, which is like half, there's like a rule or a percentage that there has to be a certain amount of Australian players on the teams when they do put these teams together, because you got fans like myself who are very invested in the majors, so we watch potentially out of interest in the prospects or potentially out of interest in like who's going to be coming up in the majors in a couple of years. And then you also have the local homegrown Australian talent. And they're the people who, when we do get the fans who come out to the ball game, they're usually who the people are going to see. So, locally, there's a guy called Joe Stevens. He's our third baseman at the moment, and he's been doing pretty great this season as well. So I'm definitely watching him in terms of the upcoming WBC team selection.
Yeah, and I mean, I believe it wasn't this last year, but the year before, the first all-around draft pick in MLB. I believe. I think it was Travis Bonanza or something along.
I think it's Bazana.
Bazana. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I believe he actually played for the Blue Sox, right?
Yes, he did. That's where he got his start. So I believe he started playing for the Blue Sox very, very young. Like I think it was like 15 or something incredible. So he's been talented from a young age, and that gave him kind of the beginning point to then get to the States for the college, etc. And then that was where he got scouted. So it's kind of like what I was going back to before in terms of it's a very niche market over here. But if you're willing to, forego the potential glory of like the homegrown popularity and the kind of audiences, like if you go to say, for example, an AFL game, like you can get 20,000 in that crowd, 10,000, 20,000 easy. It's very popular. Likewise for the rugby league. For the Australian baseball current situation, I would love for there to be massive, massive turnouts in the crowds. I think it would do so much better for like the atmosphere and the vibes, but it's definitely struggling a bit. So it's like we're sub 1,000 for our games. You're lucky if you get like 500, to be honest.
Does the Melbourne Aces have any interest in Alex Verdugo?
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know if he would even succeed over there at this point. He's that bad, but yeah.
I don't know. I don't know Australian baseball's talent level because it sounds like there's talent over there.
No, there is. There absolutely is. This is
Gotcha.
more than what you're gonna get out of like a college game or whatever. This is comparable to at least minor league baseball.
Yeah, it's definitely comparable
Gotcha.
to the minors.
Yeah.
Comparable to the minors. Okay, good to know. But as far as American imports go, you guys wouldn't have any interest in American Mexican imports, Alex Verdugo?
I'm sure the Melbourne Aces might take him because like they're currently not actively in the ABL. They're like almost like an exhibition team this year. So I don't think like beggars can be choosers in their case.
Should we
Yeah.
break it
We'll
on
go
Twitter?
to the Perth Heat. Yeah.
Yeah, the Perth Heat. Are you that studied up on
I just
Australian
knew.
baseball?
I didn't even study. This is just what I knew. Yeah.
Real
No,
ball
here-
knowledge.
Yeah.
Comment from Zach. I'd love to see Manny Ramirez there.
Girl, me
Oh
too.
yeah. I forgot that like he signed up to be a coach or a player or something. What was the whole deal with that? I forgot about that.
I didn't. I wish I knew. This is where I come in as being like, I'm definitely a passionate fan about stuff, but I'm definitely not up to date on everything that happens. I think I missed the Manny Ramirez ABL arc if there was one. I know that he was. I know that he was posting on his Instagram about like being available for hire as a hitting coach. And I'm like, hey, if he wants to come down and live in Australia, I've got a couch. It's kind of comfortable.
You can come hang
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, no,
that'd be
I
sweet.
do like the idea of this like multi-millionaire just being like, "Oh yeah, I'll crash on your couch." Thank
Exactly, like the guy who's like won like World Series, just living in like my what's it called, my housing commission Povo flat. Yeah, sure, bro, come on in.
Yeah, you wake up, you go into the kitchen in the morning. Manny's just there. He's like, "Hey, I made
Yeah,
coffee.
Manny.
Would you like
Yeah,
some
Manny
eggs?"
being Manny.
Yeah. It's coming up in the chat a few times. We're definitely looking for a fit check.
Oh yeah,
here.
yeah.
It
I mean,
looks
I've
like
been
it's-
I've been waiting to wear this one.
Yes,
and
I've
I'm
seen
trying
her
to-
one.
Yep. So we got the Australian WBC jersey here, and I'm pretty sure I was able to figure out who this was. A little 47, Peter Moyland, who actually had a very good MLB career as a reliever. I think he still does like broadcasting or something too. So you know what? That pretty good one to have.
I like it.
Honestly,
Oh, we got-
real ball knowledge there.
Yeah, and we got the Johnny's hot dog hat on.
Yeah,
so,
where is it from?
Oh yeah, Buttsville, New Jersey.
Buttsville, New Jersey.
Yeah. Somebody got me this hat.
Yeah, I think I found it at a thrift store in New York, and it said Buttsville. I was like,
And it also has a
you know
hot
what?
dog on it. Yeah,
It does. You love hot
I
dogs.
do.
But it looks like we got two fit checks going on here because Holly, you're definitely wearing a jersey right now. Who are you wearing?
Just a very basic Red Sox jersey. This is the one that I've had since I was like 16 or 17. So another 15 years on that one. Doesn't have a
Sure.
name or a number on the back, unfortunately. I just got the one that was like available. That's kind of like what happens when you live in Australia. It's like you basically you find what you can down here.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Go ahead, Jack. Sorry. Didn't mean to
No,
interrupt.
no, go right ahead.
No,
yeah.
no. After you. No. Okay. Do you make it to the States often enough to like find players that you want or order them on Depop or eBay or wherever? Or do you prefer like the thrill of the hunt, like running through the Australian thrift stores to find the players that you would want to wear?
Ooh, good question. So in
Thank
terms
you.
of making it to the States, I've never been.
I was gonna ask that next. Yeah.
We have a very comfortable couch.
Yeah.
When Manny
yeah.
is not
Manny
staying
Ramirez
here.
slept here once.
Yeah.
I would
but-
love to go. I think I'd be a bit concerned about certain visa immigration policies.
Yeah, actually,
that are
you know what?
happening at the
Great call.
moment.
Yeah. That
Like when they said,
maybe,
like when they saying like we have to check your social media for the last 5 years. I'm like, ooh, I don't know
Well,
about that, brother.
We'll figure it out. No, I'm pretty confident. Like, first of all, never mind. I think you would be safe enough.
Yeah,
here.
we're not gonna get you in any trouble.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not at all. I'll tell you what, the offer is open. We do have a guest room here. If you decide you want to come in and see a Red Sox game with Not Another Sox podcast, our guest room is open to you. Come by anytime.
Thank you. Unfortunately, I'm also quite like poor. So like at the moment my job is casual, so basically it's like I don't get paid holiday leave. So it's like if I do take time off, and that's currently happening like right now for Christmas, is it's like my work closes for 2 weeks, so that means I just have like no income for 2 weeks, but I have to pay for like my rent, all my bills, all that stuff. So it's like, okay, I have to like save up for nearly months to just afford to pay my rent, and then I have to like work back any money that I then miss out on from that period. So that's like the hard part about, potentially wanting to go on holiday or go overseas. And the other thing, my passport expired in 2024. As a guest, this is the nice little game I like to play with any American friends. How expensive do you think an Australian passport is?
You go first.
Okay. So it's like 100 or so in America. So the way that you're framing it, it makes it sound like a lot more. So I'm gonna say 500 Australian.
Brilliant. I'm gonna say $1.
Well, you're halfway there. You're somewhere in the middle. No, actually, 500 is pretty close. It's over $400. I think it's like 420
Okay.
or something
But you
like
went
that.
over, so
Oh, blaze it!
Oh, we're playing the Price is Right, so technically you did go over.
we do always play Price is Right rules here. So
we do here on Not Another Sox podcast.
Yeah, I'd have to
Fuck.
Google it to get the exact specific number, but it's something like 400, 440 or something like that. And I'm just like, well, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. So it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I probably should get it updated just for the sake of having it as like an ID sort of document. But, oh man, it's a lot of money.
I bet you could get a work visa. I hear the Red Sox are looking for a right-handed arm out of the pen. Think you can do that?
no, we need.
I am right-handed. I am right-handed. Oh, well, I can learn to throw with the left. I can be ambidextrous in that case.
Okay, you're hired. I would take
Yeah,
one of
no,
those
that-
out of the pen.
I'll take it at
personally.
this point. Yeah.
Do you personally have a Red Sox player that you're fucking absolutely in love with? Like, this is my boy. This is my ride or die.
I'd like to hope I've made it like identifiable enough. I hope that people like, it's one of those things like you see a fan, you recognize their associated favorite player. I'm pretty outspoken that I'm like a Team Marcelo Meyer enthusiast.
No, I love that one.
Marcelo
I
Meyer
knew when you
enthusiast.
asked, I was like, okay, I knew who she's gonna say. So
Yes.
Marcelo Meyer.
Yeah, that's my boy.
That's my boy. Well, there are a lot of rumors floating around that he might not be a Reds talking for
Don't
now.
you
I hope
fucking
we
do it,
keep him.
Craig. Don't you
I
fucking
know.
do it, Craig.
Fuck, you'd have to pay for the passport just to come over and kick Craig's ass.
Literally.
You could give
Craig,
him a
I know where
wedgie.
you live. I've seen the addresses posted on Twitter.
yeah, unfortunately, I saw that dox too.
Wait, they doxed his address?
Yeah, they doxed his address
After
after
the
trade.
Devers
What are we still
trade.
doing here? NASP field trip. Everyone get in the car.
Yeah, everyone get in the car. We're going to picket Craig Breslau's house. I'm just holding up a sign that says "Don't trade Meyer."
Yeah,
Don't trade on me.
yeah. You
Good
know,
joke.
might not be the best idea, but
You know what?
We're joking. JK, JK, JK.
Yeah,
Please
yeah,
do
well,
not use this
well.
in my visa application.
Yeah. I
denied.
feel the need. I feel the need to specify that explicitly
Yes.
during this time. Yeah.
Yes, during this Hanukkah time. Well, today's the second day of Hanukkah.
It
isn't
is. Yeah.
Yeah. Happy Hanukkah,
Happy
everyone,
Hanukkah.
all of our
Yeah.
Hanukkah listeners. Alex Bregman, happy Hanukkah day 2.
Yeah.
I know exactly how I'd celebrate day 3 of Hanukkah with Alex Bregman, personally.
I'll even wait till the 8th day if it gets done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're letting
That
Hanukkah
would be a
build
happy
up over
Hanukkah.
time.
Yeah, usually you wait till the big present on the last day is my understanding. So like that's
Ooh.
the big present. Yeah.
Wow. So if they sign him
mean-
on day 5, I would love to see the days following.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, I mean, I like that as a nice little narrative because I believe that Breslau is Jewish as well. So it's like
Yes.
Jewish brother to Jewish brother, happy Hanukkah. We'll give you what you're asking for. So do it. Please
So do it.
do it.
Yeah. No, that would. It's. I like Holly's advice. International GM of the Boston Red Sox. You think you're up for
I
it?
am available. I am available for baseball related consultations.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Like Red Sox GM / pro wrestler Hollee. Yeah.
So great. Then your first act as international GM of the Boston Red Sox is, what are you getting back for Wilyer Abreu or Jarren Duran? The decision is imminent and you have to make it as soon as possible. What is your decision, Madam GM?
Oof. Well, respectfully, Wilyer Abreu is not going anywhere from my team. So I'm Yeah, I'm interested in seeing like all the different mock trades that are going around. Obviously not a trade because it was the free signing, but like Alonso being out was disappointing. My one that I'd actually been interested in, especially during the postseason, I liked Polanco. I saw a lot of people be like, "Oh, you don't go saying that you're mad about Polanco, and like if you had have signed him, you would have been angry." And I'm
just like him.
it's like it would have people were like, on the internet when they're like, oh, everyone's saying like they're mad we didn't get Polanco, but if we had Polanco, you would have been like, this is our big signing, what? And it's like, no, I actually was saying that I did like him on the team. Like I liked the idea of him on the team. So like that would have been my, if I could like, yeah. Look, I'm definitely seeing Cattell Marte's name being thrown around, but they want Marcelo's. Like, no, you're not having that. But how about this outfielder? You want this? Huh? 24 All Star, had a good season. We'll go with that direction.
Which one is that? Actually, that's a great question. Would either of you do a 1-for-1 trade, Duran for Marte?
Oh, easy.
I do, because our farm system is starting to thin a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So, kind of like Hollee was mentioning, the smartest thing we could have done is just spend the money and sign like Pete Alonso, so that way we don't have to, trade a Brian Bayo, or we don't have to trade a Connolly early or somebody along those lines.
I know. I like our baby pictures. We've already lost.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We don't have to do that. So I think if you could do that and get, a Major League All-Star in return, yeah, it makes sense.
All-Star for All-Star. It's a fair trade.
Duran for Marte, I would make that trade in a fucking heartbeat. It wouldn't even be close. And you guys know I'm a Duran fan, but
we'll like do like a three-way trade with the Royals and the Diamondbacks, and we'll somehow get Marte and Cole Reagan.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and everything will just be sunshine and rainbows and gumdrops.
And if that's what happens on day 6 of Hanukkah, imagine what day 7's going to look like.
Man.
Yeah. Do they have that over in Australia?
Yes, I feel like, to be respectful to mention it, that was unfortunately what happened at Bondi on the Sunday for us. I believe that might have been your Saturday. It was a terror attack that happened at Bondi that I'm sure most people are aware of, and very sadly it was specifically targeting like a Hanukkah event that was being held there, because Bondi is quite known for the being like a hub for the Jewish community in Sydney. So yes, massive condolences to all of the victims that were
yes, and of course, we're glad that you're safe. There was a scare here in Providence as well. Really unfortunate. I was actually more asking about whether or not you guys have 6-7.
Oh,
6-7.
Yeah.
But no, I'm obviously it's the elephant in the room for both sides. But we are, of course, glad that you are okay. It's made national news, and it would be insensitive not to recognize it. So
yeah, it was like I was trying to figure out, like, obviously the last thing I want to do is like do a 6-7 joke in the middle of like that situation. So again, I apologize immediately if that was seen as insensitive.
No, that's on me. That's on me.
Yeah, I also have like a thing where it's like I struggle to recognize like the severity of certain things in the moment, and then afterwards I'm like, oh shit, that came across really rude. So definitely not intentional if that comes across that way to anybody. But yeah, it's like I saw it was happening like brown, like literally the same day. So it was interesting kind of messaging, because I've got some, like, I'm very lucky through baseball this year, especially being more active. I found like a community, especially with like other girls who are interested as much as I am. So like I'm messaging the Red Sox girls being like, oh my God, I'm so sorry about like the mass shooting in your country. And then like, 10 hours later, I'm getting messages back being like, oh my God, I'm so sorry about the mass shooting in your country. And it's like, what the fuck is wrong with the world?
I think that's kind of just where everybody's at right now.
Yeah.
And it's very unfortunate to see. So obviously, we're not trying to get overly political here, thinking of the victims and their families, and hopefully, something like this never happens again, and something actually is, done about all of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a hard thing to obviously get into, because essentially any form of shooting on whether it's intentional or not is political just by its very nature. And like the day after it, we're already having our government proposing new gun reform in response to this. So it's like, There's going to be certain people who have very strong opinions about that, but I'm just saying, like, for one of us, it happens every 30 years. For the other side, it happens every 30 hours. So,
Yes, that's kind of how we feel.
Yeah.
Well,
elephant in the room. It has been addressed.
No way to prevent this as only country where it happens regularly.
yeah.
Yeah, insert that meme of like the elephant in the room where it's like, acknowledge me. It's like, okay, Roman Reigns, you have been acknowledged.
Yes, acknowledged. I think personally that is a perfect place to insert our commercial for the week. Let's take a step back for just a moment for all of our listeners.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Yes, enjoy the sounds of Jack. What do you think? What are we listening to?
Oh, that's a good question. I like know this question's happening every week, and I still somehow like forget to prepare. I'm gonna say it is for beer. You drink it.
Beer. Blue Moon was born in a ballpark. Let's go to commercial. Back from commercial.
Yeah, we don't
did
actually have that for anybody on the live stream. So.
No, we we don't. It's always so funny for people who watch the live streams and like the first few times we did it. It's so out of pocket to be like, we're going to commercial.
We're back from commercial.
Yeah, it's commercial. But anyway, boo.
Yeah.
Christy saying we're back from an NRA commercial.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yikes.
Yikes. But
It wouldn't be the first time that something potentially a little bit polarizing is being inserted into the ad break of a podcast commercial.
No.
We should probably ask the sponsor network about that.
Yeah,
we Believe Network.
we did take out at least like gambling ads because we're just annoyed at those in general. Like,
not
I can't
gambling
imagine
ads
how
persons.
annoying that is from somebody where it's like we don't gamble much anyways, but like I can't even imagine how much more annoying it is like in a country where I don't even know if you can bet on baseball or not.
Oh,
Like,
you are going. So this is the interesting thing. Like on one hand, our gun reforms
Yes,
are very
let's go.
opposite. But on the other, gambling, I feel like Australia is actually worse. Like what's happening to you guys basically at the moment with like the sports betting suddenly just like flooding everything. I always feel like that's an Australian influence. That's what the industry has basically always been like from my perspective growing up. Like I've always been surrounded by gambling ads, sports Bet365, give me my promo codes. You cannot watch a sports game without like betting ads behind, without the sports broadcasters being like, okay, we've interviewed these players. Now let's take a break to have a look at the odds for this game here. It's like, it's just essentially what I've grown up surrounded by. So it was very interesting to learn that this is only a somewhat recent addition to American sports. And surprise, surprise, now everyone's in like, crippling gambling debt and players are getting like death threats in their mentions. I'm like, gee, who could have seen that coming?
The Australians.
Yeah. We're all trying to find the guy that
guy
did
that-
this.
Yeah, we're all trying to find the guy who did this. Yeah, where is he? Let me out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as long as we're on the subject of gambling, Holly, would you gamble on Jordan Hicks being good?
Oh, this is a very hot take. Look, he's a guy who has struck out Shohei Ohtani before. So in that capacity, I think there's potential. It's a matter of I would have to like actually have a conversation with him, kind of understand his mindset as to whether or not that it can be achieved. Because I do think that the Red Sox have good pitching development when the player is actually interested to work with them. If they can work compatibly with each other, there's where the potential is. Because like you've got the situation with Walker Buehler that happened this year, but he was also kind of like, oh, I don't want to do it this way. I'm going to go out during the All-Star break and go find my guys, and I'm going to do this guy's way of doing it. And it's like, well, that's where you get that sort of incompatible nature. So it's like if Hicksy is willing to potentially put the work in and kind of like check his ego at the door, he's obviously got the potential. It exists. There's a reason there's a numerical figure as big as it is attached to his contract. I just think he has to kind of like be willing to almost go back to square one again and build it back up again from the bottom. And like if I'm being optimistic, maybe that's what he's doing this offseason. I don't know. I genuinely think, like, I'm obviously, as a Red Sox fan, extremely like, fuck, whenever that guy comes up to the plate, up to the mound, when it's, the game's on the line and there's a 1 or 2 run lead or not, then it's a bit like shit. But from a human perspective, I'm always willing to look at the potential that's there and see what you can work with. And I do think it is workable, but it's obviously going to be as much of a mental thing as much as it is physical.
Yeah, you did mention he struck out Shohei Ohtani, but there was like some Czechoslovakian plumber that did during the last WBC too, so he might just be a bum, yeah.
Yeah, he's a bit... Yeah, who is that guy anyway?
Shohei Ohtani washed.
No, duh, he's so easy to strike out, he's a pitcher. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
More like show who Ohtani.
Oh, fucking got his ass.
Get him.
I did briefly mention it earlier, but you do have somewhat of, I don't want to call it like a double life, but you see on the Instagram and posts and everything, you're also like a semi-pro or professional wrestler. Like, how'd you get into that? I'm just as curious about that as anything else. Yeah.
God, that is a weird story. It's like, so in case it's not obvious to any viewers who are watching / listening, I am on the autism spectrum. So for me, it's like I become very, very hyper-fixated and passionate about things that I'm interested in. It can never just be like, oh, a baseball game on TV. I'll come sit and watch that because I think this sport is enjoyable. I'm like, no, I have to learn what the on-base percentage of every single player is and the potential metrics of trade values. And now I'm acting as my # unofficial scout in the Australian Baseball League, and I'm self-proclaiming myself as Eric Radicek's manager. Eric Radicek will very happily deny this. But same kind of principle for like professional wrestling. It wasn't just like, oh, I can watch professional wrestling because I enjoyed this and I saw it on TV. It was very much like, okay, my friend who was very, very, very passionate about was New Japan Pro Wrestling. So most people know about like your WWE, your wrestling fans in the States probably know about AEW, maybe TNA. I got back into professional wrestling very intensely in around 2018, 2019 through a friend of mine who is Japanese, who introduces me to New Japan Pro Wrestling through Hiroshi Tanahashi, real graps knowers. And that definitely got me really, really into the sport. So you got like the history with Inoki, you've also got like your Kazuchika Okada, and then a wrestler I became very interested in was Zack Sabre Jr., and I've been like a pretty big fan of him for a while now. I was actually very lucky. I got to meet him last time he came to Australia. So I had dreams do come true, kids. Hopefully that sets the precedent for me to one day get a selfie with Marcelo Meyer. But yeah, so I got like super, super into it when I was watching it. And then I was like, yeah, watching's not good enough. I'm going to actually do the thing. I'm going to get in a wrestling ring and I'm going to be a pro wrestler. And then I started training in 2020. It is a very, 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 very long story about my entire history of pro wrestling. But I finally managed to have my debut match last year. And I've had a few matches over the last year or so, like on shows. It's very much like if you are familiar with the scene, it's very much like an indie level. In Australia, there are very good active talent. So, for example, if you know the WWE, you probably know Rhea Ripley. She came from the Australian Indies first. And there's a current wrestler named Zarya who's in NXT. Australians would know her as Delta, et cetera, et cetera. So there's like a lot of pro wrestling you could talk about from the Australian end. These people were always very good at it and always had a lot of potential. I unfortunately was not, still am not really that good, to be honest. Like, there's some people who are just like, they pick up something and like you dedicate that's kind of really what I did. Like I dedicated my life to it for the last solid 5-ish years, especially since 22, because I moved states from Tasmania, where my parents are, back into Sydney and New South Wales, because there's a very, very good quality pro wrestling academy called PWA. I moved interstate to train there because I was like, fuck it. If I'm going to have a dream, if I'm going to have a goal, then at least I'm going to do something in my life where I give 110% of myself. So there's no regrets and no doubt at the end that way, when I'm like old, I'm not looking back on my life going, what if I really had tried being a pro wrestler? I could have been at WrestleMania. No, I couldn't. But unfortunately, or fortunately, for lack of a better, like it's a bittersweet sort of thing where it's like, you do the thing, you give your life to it, and then, shit, I'm actually not that good at it after all. But at least I know. At least there's no regrets there. And
you've done more wrestling than me.
Exactly. It's like it's an interesting thing where it's like, on one hand, I'm just genuinely not that good. I'm not awful. I'm safe. I say that as if I now have it pivoted to what's called deathmatch wrestling. So just a trigger warning for anyone who might go looking up my accounts, being like, "Oh, pro wrestling. I'm going to see some grabs." Then you just see me literally gushing blood out of my forehead. Heavy blood warning for the deathmatch that I just put on. So I became very, very interested in that in the last I discovered deathmatch in 21, and then that very quickly became like, I want to do that.
Real good news. If you make it to Fenway Park, you could probably experience a deathmatch here in the United States.
Ooh, I didn't know how I'd go in like your jail system, but I'm just saying, like, if anyone tries it with me, I'm a bit bigger than what I might potentially look on the internet.
No, you're our enforcer. Like, we're hiding behind you if we're
Security.
all going to Fenway Park together. Yeah, like do you watch South Park at all?
A bit. Like, I'm not an active watcher, but like I definitely grew up seeing certain episodes. Like, I know the "I'll make you eat your parents" meme. That was brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there's also the whole episode where the kids are playing Little League Baseball, and
yes,
it's a
yes,
vehicle
I know that
for
episode.
Randy to fight everyone at the ballpark. So that's
I will be
who I
Randy
imagine
Marsh.
you are.
I will be the Randy Marsh of
I didn't
Fenway
hear no
Park.
bell.
I didn't hear no.
we do have a question from Christy in the chat
Ooh,
here.
yay.
Who is your favorite WWE superstar? And she did mention Rhea because of the Australian ties.
Yeah, so that's an interesting one. Like, if we're thinking like active wrestlers, I think Roxanne Perez is phenomenal. I recognize her from like her indie era as being Roxy, and now she's Roxanne Perez. I think she's awesome. The Prodigy, definitely like someone who's going to be a major player. I love Io Shirai, Io Sky. I think she's basically the greatest professional wrestler in the world right now. I could wax lyrical about pretty much every woman in the wrestling world. I think that women are just incredible. And then I also really love, it's a bit like, if I'm talking about like the matches that made me want to be a pro wrestler, and I talk about my love for deathmatch, the match that made me want to do deathmatch was, it's technically not even one, but it's as close as you're going to get in the WE, was Mick Foley versus Edge from WrestleMania. So like a lot of love for both of those guys for basically introducing me to the concept of going through a burning table, and then me being like, oh, that's my goal in life. I still haven't had the burning table yet. So I got my deathmatch and I'm very happy about it. But like, if anybody watching wants to do a spot with a burning table, I am your person to contact.
What do you think we could? You think we could do that?
Yeah. No, I mean, not to like copy the Buffalo Bills because I'm pissed at them right now, but we could do that too. Yeah.
Why? What happened?
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
Do you think Roman Anthony and Drake may kiss?
This is the fanfic that you only get on Not Another Sucks podcast.
Yes, go read our fan fiction. That's what this whole podcast is a plug for. Is we write Roman Anthony Drake May fan fiction.
Yeah,
AO3.
it's out there. I'm sure it is. Yeah.
Oh, I imagine the AO3 tags go crazy on that.
Yeah.
The AO3 tags.
Ooh, that's a lore drop there. So
I was
AO,
gonna say, I don't even know what that is. So
so
You don't know
AO3 is
AO3?
basically, yes, that's where like the fan fiction gets posted.
I'm lying. Go ahead,
Okay.
Holly. I'm lying. Go ahead. Tell us more.
Honestly, I'm not that active on it, but it's like I see it from my friends who are. It's called Archive of Our Own, and that's where like basically people post fan fiction.
okay, you know what? Oh my god, it's like the meme. Oh my god, that's disgusting.
Where do I find it? So I can make sure to stay away from it.
Yeah, I would hate that.
Yeah.
So pivoting back into baseball a little bit.
Boo.
Yeah, sorry. I know I'm
What kind of podcast is this?
I know.
This is not another Sox
Well,
podcast.
I would bet the Venn diagram of wrestling fans and Australian wrestling fans and baseball fans is pretty fucking close to a circle. So
Sure.
I would definitely
Yeah.
I would make that assumption. I bet there are a lot of baseball fans who are wrestling fans. So then
I don't know.
I'm
Sure.
I'm gonna
Maybe.
ask you two
Might
questions.
be like,
One very baseball and one like kind of fun-ish baseball. But the first is like, who is your number one target in the current Red Sox off season?
ooh, who do I want to acquire?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I'm very basic in terms of what I was after, in terms of like I was in on Alonso. He's not. I wanted Schwarber. I was a big Schwarber person, and then like he went back to the Phillies, and I was just like I'm not surprised. I'm just sad. Like, but it's kind of like we lost him in 21.
Yes, we
Then it-
fucking did.
I know,
Sorry.
Craig.
I'm sorry, Craig.
And then it's essentially like, you know, I liked Schwarber the most. He was gone, and I was like, okay, I can get behind Alonso. Gone. And then I was like, well, I still have my guy Polanco. Gone. So I almost feel like I'm cursed if I suggest anything. Like I would be
Alex Verdugo. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm very in on quite a few of the guys that we like. I don't want to trade Marcelo Meyer. So on one hand, it's like, yeah, I'd be happy if Ketel Marte shows up, but I'm not like holding my breath for it, and I would not trade Marcelo Meyer for it either. And then I'm like, who's coming over? That's why I'm like pitching. Fuck it, Eric Radicek. Welcome to the Boston Red Sox, buddy. Marte is interesting. Obviously, the guys that you got from the Royals potentially to depth in the pitching rotation. I'm very much on team #wait and see for that one.
Hashtag
Yeah,
wait and see. Do we
like
know
our friend
anyone like
Mr.
that?
Fenway attendee. Yeah.
Dr.
Shout him out,
Fenway
shout him out.
Attendee.
Yeah.
Prescribing the hashtag wait and see to all the fans of Boston. Which I like about him. He's a really good doctor. I would say he prescribes that the exact right amount.
Dr. GM.
Dr. GM?
Yeah. Dr. Pobo.
Are any GMs currently doctors?
Good question.
Greg Breslow might be. He's like,
Yeah, like
biomechanical
But like a doctor in
engineering.
statistics.
Yeah, like we should start calling him Dr. Craig. I like that idea.
Is there a doctor on board? I have a doctorate in English. You sit down. So then here's my follow-up question to, you know, some of the guys who like in free agency is there a professional wrestler out there you think the Red Sox should sign that would help us?
I mean, John Cena, originally from West Newbury, Massachusetts.
It's true.
I
He's not
heard
doing anything.
Exactly. I heard he's not doing much right now anymore. Get him on the mound and see how he goes. I imagine he's got a bit of velocity.
Wow,
That's a great answer. Yeah.
Well, that's really interesting because I bet he would be a pretty solid pitcher. I bet he would be a pretty solid catcher.
I
Takes up
reckon
a
he'd
lot
be
of
great as a
space.
pitcher because you wouldn't see what he had coming.
Oh, you can't
Yeah.
see me.
Oh man.
I see what you did there.
Imagine like John Cena being a two-way catcher pitcher. Like
He
I guess
pitches
that's-
to himself.
I was gonna say, I guess that's kind of impossible, but
I don't know unless
yeah.
you throw an ephus pitch and you're really fast.
That's also true. Yeah, it's like the Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Yeah, it feels like something Bill the Spaceman Lee would do is an ephus pitch and then run behind the plate and catch it himself without getting fucking clocked by whatever batter is up there swinging at this thing. Imagine Shohei Ohtani killed Bill the Spaceman Lee pitching to himself.
He probably could.
that'd be
If there's
sad.
anyone who could do that, it would be Shohei.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say it would be Bill the Spaceman Lee.
It's funny
Yeah.
because every story you hear about Bill Lee is just like, yeah, I ran into him at like Costco in full uniform, and like he just talked to me for like 30 minutes about like how he'd drink beers out of after Expos games. So you know,
Yeah.
that's the type of guy. I think that might be like a top 10 get of like people to interview on the pod.
Oh, I would love to have
yeah,
him.
I would love to
Impossible
smoke
find,
weed
but-
and talk with Bill Lee.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. I would download that special, undownload it, and download it again.
Wow, which is what you should do for all of our.
Welcome to another Sox
Yeah.
podcast.
Inflate my stats.
Yeah.
What was I going to say about build a Spaceman Lee. It was a really good one. It
Yeah.
was real good. Cause he was in Ephus, and wasn't he just a fucking blast in Ephus? Is what I was gonna say, but then I forgot and had to bring it back up. So if it's lost some of its luster, that's kind of on me.
Oh, we got a breaking Red Sox trade here.
Oh shit!
The Boston Red Sox are acquiring left-hander Jake Bennett from the Washington Nationals for right-hander Luis Perales. So a top
Ooh.
100 guy. So we got an actual trade going on right here.
Breaking news!
We just did a full 3 nights during the winter meetings, and we didn't have a goddamn thing happen. But you know what? I get to use these again now.
Damn it!
Oh,
Don't
hi,
trip over
Bulbasaur.
anything. Oh,
Yeah. We got the party lights going on here. So you know what?
I
we
don't
might just
hate
need- Yeah,
I
we might need
kinda
an
don't
instant
hate
reaction here. Yep.
instant reaction.
I'm seeing very mixed reactions from like the fans online, but I mean, we needed pitching. I liked Perales. I thought he, especially like it's like oh,
What's his name? Red Sox acquire
Jake
Watson?
Bennett.
Jake Bennett.
And you know what? We instantly have the Craig Breslow and Paul Taboni connection with him being in Washington now. So, you know, there might be more trades between these two teams, given they have pitching and some infielders. And you know what? They don't really have too much else other than that. So, yeah, well, we got an actual trade going on here.
We do.
Interesting. So yeah, like everyone's kind of like I'm looking online. It's like everyone's kind of like melting out about it. Like oh, this is
Luis
our big
Perales,
trade.
very good prospect. I'm very
Yeah.
surprised we traded him. You know, obviously we do have a lot of a lot of pitching prospects now, which makes a lot of sense. So
Yeah.
it is upsetting to see him. You know, we heard a lot of good things. He's been cracking a lot of top 100 lists. So,
Yes.
you know, that's the fortunate thing that we're able to do when you have actual depth like that and everything, which is,
Yeah.
you know, what a concept having actual pitchers
I feel like
in the system
yeah,
here.
I feel like that's one of the things that's like when everyone's melting down about it, I'm like I was almost expecting to hear like Peyton Tolley or Connolly early.
Yeah.
So I'm almost at a point where I'm like, at least it's not them.
Yeah. Well, Luis Perales was really interesting. He's a guy I know
Yeah.
you've just been watching in general. What do we
Yeah,
know
he's
about
coming
Jake
back
Bennett?
off of Tommy John. He was actually one
Yeah.
of the last Dave Dombrowski prospects, which is very funny.
Mm.
So it looks like this is one of the Nationals' top prospects. So he's yet to make his major league debut. It does look like he's a starting pitcher. You know, believe it or not, he's tall and strikes out a lot of guys. So there is that. So
Very unheard
seems
of.
like a very it is actually interesting that like you don't really see a prospect for prospect trade. But you know what? Greg has a type, and if there's anything I'm going to trust him with, it's pitching. So
Specifically, left-handed, 6 foot something, throw real hard.
yeah. All right, I'm turning back on the actual.
Yeah, it's a bit
No,
of a like
I'm glad.
I'm again, we're going back to hashtag wait and see because like I don't immediately hate this, but I'm also like I don't think I love this either. So I'm kind of like, okay, like, you know, let's see how it works out.
Yeah, and in terms of, you know, magnitude, obviously this is on the lower end.
Yeah, I like when you said breaking trade, I was like, if I swear to God, if we lose Marcelo while I'm on the broadcast, I'm
I
going to have
know.
the most
I
biggest
got like
crash
the
out.
Jeff passing notification saying the Red Sox trade with the Nationals, and the Nationals are my second team as well because I grew
Ooh.
up in the DC area. So like I was like, what is happening? And then like I didn't even know the other guy coming over in the return. So
Yeah. Well, you know what? Sure. I thought we would be using Luis Perales for something a bit more high profile, but as far as one for ones go, Jake Bennett, very enticing, fits the Breslow profile. I don't know. You're right, Holly. It's definitely a hashtag wait and see moment.
one of the moves of all time.
Yeah. Red Sox breaking news. Ketel Marte killed. No. That's not funny, guys.
Yeah, you're going to some dark places on this episode today.
It's been a rough few days.
Yeah.
Yeah, hashtag wait and see on that one. Definitely interesting. I guess it's a big trade, but, you know, we'll see what happens next.
You know what? I'm sure it will be funny because, like, what if he's like on the same exact like prospect ranking on like Sox prospects or whatever?
Mm.
Like it's just like, oh, we just wanted somebody who's a lefty, and we have Peyton Tolley and Connolly Early or whatever. But like, oh, I wonder why Craig Breslow likes lefties. Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder. Well, he had spoken on MLB Network during the winter meetings, and they were like, Craig Breslow, why do you love left-handed pitching so much? And he was like, well, believe it or not, when I played baseball, I was a left-handed pitcher. And everyone was like, what? We've never heard of this before. What Breslow was talking about, he was saying, believe it or not, as a 5'10" left-handed pitcher, it was really tricky to get guys out with the stuff that I had. And I could still get you outs, but, looking at the guys that I profile and what I expect from my left-handed pitchers in particular and my right-handed pitchers, but my left-handed pitchers, is I know how hard it was for me at 5'10" with my stuff to get outs. So when I'm looking for left-handed guys to get outs, I know what I'm looking for. So I trust him. I think Jake Bennett is going to be a beautiful trade piece for Ketel Marte.
Honestly, that could be very possible. Like that could be just like,
the other team wants a lefty in exchange for, say,
it's happened before. It's not like off the table, or
and then that potentially gets us the trade for, like, if we're using Marte for example, it's like it's a way to get him for a left-handed pitcher that isn't Connolly Early or isn't Peyton Tolley. So
I was gonna say, like, it does let you maybe do that in a Marte trade, but still just seems very weird.
Yeah. Wait and see how things all play out.
Wait and see, yeah.
Hashtag
this feels like a precursor move, almost. So
yeah,
like,
and I got to tell you, it's really thrown off my groove.
Yeah.
I have no idea what to think about this trade right now. I don't know what Craig Breslow is cooking with. I hope it's with gas.
At least he's doing something. So I like that he's doing something.
Is Kyle Bloom
On the
signing
second
Dustin
night,
May not enough
like
for you?
I said, like we were saying before, this is only the second night of Hanukkah. Like,
Okay.
there's still another
presents
6
get
nights.
bigger.
Yeah, so like, tomorrow, hey, maybe we'll like get another lefty reliever, or we'll make like a minor league signing or something like that, and then like day 7 it's Bregman, and then like day 8 it's Ketel Marte, and like day 5 it's like Okamada or whoever. Yeah,
Sure.
It's just gonna keep getting better and better.
Sure. You know what? I'm on board. We're waiting for the Knights of Hanukkah to demonstrate to us how the Red Sox are going to pilot the rest of their offseason.
Yeah.
But that I'm on board. I totally want that. Hollee, you personally, in our last few minutes here, are you a Hanukkah enjoyer or a Christmas enjoyer, or both, or all, or none?
I'm very much like like it's the Section 10 Christmas party for all religions, non-denominational.
Right.
So it's kind of interesting because like I've got a friend from the States who's originally from Connecticut, and like we were just discussing this the other day in terms of like how Christmas doesn't really feel like Christmas over here, because like they have naturally always associated Christmas as like white Christmas, snow, and like the family events and such. Whereas Australia, it is a family thing here, but it's also like it's summer. So it's like Santa in board shorts with kangaroos instead of reindeer. He like drops the reindeer off and then he switches over to some kangaroos instead. And yeah, like for me, this coming Christmas, I am an only child and my parents are in Tasmania. So it's just me flying down to Tasmania to spend a bit of time with my parents, and then also another uncle who lives in the state as well. So it's like it's a very small family sort of affair for us. But like not much in terms of presents, because basically me flying there is like all of the money that I have. So I was like, hey guys, everyone's Christmas. This is the thing I've done for like the last few years.
Gift. Yeah.
Literally. Like the thing I've done for the last few years with my friends is very much like, hey guys, Christmas and birthday present gift is the fact that you don't have to get me a gift. We can both just spend our money on our essentials instead of buying presents for each other, because like I can't afford presents and therefore you don't have to buy me presents. So that's pretty much it.
I am present.
That's like the handshake agreement. Like, hey, okay, like,
Yeah.
I feel like the older you get, the more you understand that.
Yeah.
Especially if you have like, I don't know, it's like I don't have many friends, but like even just say 5 friends, that adds up very quickly in this economy.
I did get you a gift.
For Christmas?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Oh, I'm
You-
so excited.
But you don't have to get me anything. Yeah.
No, I got you something.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah.
It's my
Is
butt.
it this Bulbasaur?
Yeah, I'm getting your Christmas present is that Bulbasaur that you have had for the last 5 years.
Yeah. Thank
Maybe
you.
6.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe
or
7.
6 or 7 years.
Ah, 6, 7, 6, 7.
Oh, man.
I like that this is going to become our bit. This is going to become our inside
Please,
joke.
God, no.
6, 7.
Yeah, it has been the last few episodes, unfortunately.
It has, but it's funny every time, and I will not be taking any notes. Thank you so much.
I feel like I think we talked about this last time too. We need to ruin it as adults for the children. We need to start doing it so that way, it's almost like what's the meme of the brand?
Yeah, the pineapples on the head.
The pineapples, and then except it's just us
Adults
millennials
going
starting to
6,
do
7.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, the other
skibbity
thing-
6, 7.
Skibbity 6, 7 toilet riz. Or the other one
Sorry,
that
I'm fucking loving this.
I've seen some other kids or the kids will freak out if they're going 6, 7, 6, 7, and then the adult goes 8, 9. 6, 7, 8, 9.
I should start doing that at work, but yeah.
You have kids at work?
Sometimes. Actually, yeah, a lot, but
Wow. So we're nearing the end of our hour here. I do have a game for all of us tonight. Before we jump into the game, Holly, the last question I have for you is actually, how did you become a Red Sox fan?
Jesus, you're gonna have to extend the pod for a bit on that one because it's
We have time.
semi. So very short summary. If you did listen to the Baseball Isn't Boring pod before, I kind of went into it maybe a bit more detail there. But I got introduced to the concept of baseball as a sport in PE in primary school, and I was always really bad at basically any sport. I'm not an athletic person, hand-eye coordination negative. But just one moment where a boy before me went up and he either hit or he got out, and everyone was like, "Oh, she's up at the plate. Everyone crowd in, everyone crowd in." I just got so angry, and it just clicked, and I connected. I whacked the shit out of the ball, and I got onto first base. I was like, "Oh my god, this is the first time even being on first base." And my team was like, "Run, you idiot!" And I was like, "Okay. Oh my god, I'm at second. Wow!" And they're like, "Keep going." So I got to third, and I was like, "Wait, shit, I can actually finish," because the other person at that point at third, the outfielder, had just picked up the ball. So I was like, "Shit, I can beat the throw home," and I got it, and I ran, and I got a home run. So I was like, "Okay, I'm addicted to baseball for life now."
Let's go.
So yes, I loved T-ball through that, and then if you've ever watched the TV show Survivor, that is another one of my niche interests, is being very big on Survivor. I've applied; they have not called me back. But there's Boston Rob Mariano, and he had the Red Sox hat, so I was just like, ooh, because I like baseball, and then that's a baseball team, so if I become a baseball fan, I'll go for that team. And then eventually I found it on cable. Obviously everything's streaming now, but back in my day when I was a young whippersnapper, we used to have a cable on TV.
Righty.
Yeah, so it was an ESPN game that was showing the Red Sox. I was like, that's the team I like. That's the team I like. And then I actually sat and watched the game. And I was like, oh, shit, this is as great as I was hoping it would be, if not better. And then basically ever since then, I've been very much addicted to baseball. And that's essentially the story.
Well, all right. And the Red Sox in particular, or are you just a baseball fan in general? Or was there
I'm
a Red Sox player you latched onto?
It was basically that game, that series. I feel like such a fraud when I say the year that I finally got exposed to a game was 2008, because that's right after they just won the World Series. So bandwagon.
Twice.
I'm exactly. I'm I swear I've been very loyal for over 15 years now. Can I say I'm a fan yet?
I feel like you get a pass being halfway around
Exactly,
the world, even if it was that reason. Even if it was oh yeah, they're the first team I watched and they won the World Series, so I just started cheering for them. That would be extremely valid. I don't think anybody would. Actually
I'm hoping
that.
being in the other side of the world, where at the time the internet was a bit different, streaming wasn't as accessible, all that kind of business. Again, baseball is very much not a big thing here. And then if you do get baseball fans in Australia, it's very much Dodgers or Yankees. But yeah, I've got through just like learning about baseball and being very overt in my interest, because I'm about as subtle as a brick to the face about things that I like. I got a friend of mine who's like a Cubs fan. So when I go to the Blue Sox games, I've got my friend who's a Cubs fan who also likes the Mets as well. And then I've got another friend that's a Mariners fan. So it's like, on one hand, I kind of just fell into it. And then I found other people who do have like this connection to it, either from they went over to the United States and then that was the team that they saw when they just went to a local game for the tourist experience. I think I've got another friend who's like a Rays fan for that reason, because they were in Florida. And then sucks to suck, I guess.
Yeah. Shout out at Raise the Roof Pod. Anyway.
Sorry. But yeah, that's a great name there. I'll give them like snaps for that, actually. Brilliant name. And then other people who are basically just like, friends or family members who got them into it through that. So yeah, that's basically my little story on baseball. The games that like I very instantly love David Ortiz, big Poppy fan for life, as I'm sure pretty much anyone who likes the Red Sox would be.
Oh yeah.
It was definitely the era of like David Ortiz, Dustin Pedroia, Kevin Youkilis, Jacoby Ellsbury, that year of like that
playing
format.
the hits over here, dude.
I named my dog Petey, so that era is very true to me. I started to become a fan at the beginning of 2007, so like just watching the team that year and then like having them win it all, I was like, well, I'm hooked now.
Yeah, that would do it.
It's not only funny that like these are the teams that like pulled us all in, but it also makes a ton of sense. Like especially halfway around the world, you're not like, well, in 2006, I was watching game number 48 of the Kansas City Royals season, in which Hunter Dozier came out for his rookie. No, I don't know how an Australian baseball fan would find that in 2006, but in 2008, if you're like, a team just won the biggest game in baseball right now, that's going to make it to Australia. Like game 48 in Kansas City is not. So I guess it makes a lot more sense for baseball teams to win World Series, and the Red Sox should continue doing that, is what I'm hearing.
It would be good. Craig.
Craig.
Yeah, Craig. Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
Craig.
Hey, Craig, have you thought about winning the World Series? Just like an ideal.
He did.
Crazy
he
concept.
did in 2013.
He did think about winning the World Series in 2013?
Yeah, he I'm sure he thought about it when he did.
Have you thought about doing it again?
Yeah, he does have a ring.
He was
in Boston.
Did he contribute on that team?
Yeah, actually, he was a pretty good lefty for us that year. He was probably our best lefty out of the pen.
Well, fuck.
Yeah.
I should go back and rewatch the entire 2013 World Series.
I'm so on
It was
board
so
with that.
amazing to like really like, it's crazy to think about like Alex Cora actually being in the World Series as like a player and then going on to like become the manager of the team as well. So like that's pretty cool to think about.
Yeah, where Cora stands for sure.
Oh, I'm very
And-
much like hashtag my manager.
Hashtag my
absolutely.
manager. But we're definitely a little over our hour mark. The game
I
tonight
warned
is-
you. I warned you.
That's okay. That's why we have you here.
We started a little earlier. It's still like we haven't even usually started by this time, so I'm so on board with this.
Yeah. Also, good news. Like, we all fucking love talking about baseball. So, like,
Oh no, yeah. We had a great conversation
damn
about
it,
a wide range
win
of
the World
topics.
Series.
Yeah.
But tonight's game is short. It's going to result in a Twitter poll. We'll make it last for a few days, and I mean, cheating is okay. Mark it to your friends. Tell them to vote for you. So speak now, forever hold your peace. Our game tonight is tag team. All three of us are going to participate. We're going to pick one current Red Sox player,
Marcelo Meyer.
You're a guest. You get to go first. Yeah.
one professional wrestler to create a tag team. We'll put out the Twitter poll and let the fans decide, of the three of us, who put together the best Red Sox professional wrestler tag team. We'll go one by one. You can start with whoever you want.
Okay.
Doesn't make a huge difference. Obviously, no repeats. Holly is our guest. Why don't we let you take first pick?
I feel like I'm going to do a very obvious one for people who like both wrestling and baseball, but you've got like the Roman connection, Roman Anthony, Roman Reigns.
Oh, that's a great pick.
Gotcha.
I feel like
So
that would be a very, very dominant tag team.
Roman, Anthony, and Roman Reigns, you said?
Yeah.
The Romans. The
Yeah,
Romans are
the
coming.
Roman Empire.
The Roman Empire.
Yep, yeah.
Hell yeah.
I think she already won, but
Yeah, beat
Good
Roman
luck.
and Roman.
yeah.
Follow
I'm
that,
actually gonna
follow
pick
that.
Roman from
I'm not
Succession.
huge on wrestling. My girlfriend Christy has been getting me into it, so I have been learning. So for my wrestler, I'm gonna pick Jey Uso because I love doing the yeet. Yeah. So that's like that's my guy. I decided, and you know what? Apparently he's good, so I like that too. So Jey Uso
2 for 2.
is my wrestler, and then. I mean, I feel like I gotta just like pick a big, strong boy, so I'm gonna pick Garrett Crochet.
I knew it was
Yeah,
coming too,
yeah.
but obvious choice, right?
Yeah.
It's like, would you rather eat a mouthful of bees or 2 delicious mozzarella sticks?
Yeah.
And you're
Oh,
like,
man.
damn, give me
That's
Garrett Crochet. I'm in. So Garrett Crochet and Jey Uso. I love that. So I'll close it out here with my tag team. I'm glad you guys did not take the persons I was thinking of. For my Red Sox player, I'm going to go Tristan Casas.
Ooh.
Yeah, I feel like, first of all,
He's camp.
like-
He's camp. He would be into it.
yeah, he would be such a goofball. He'd get out there, he'd like put makeup on his face. Like he'd probably put makeup like the band Kiss on his face and just get really wild with it. He's also like 6'7", 6'7",
Oh.
and like 280 pounds. Like this.
Yeah,
guy's
he's a
monster.
big boy. Big boy.
And I'm gonna partner him with Triple H. I don't know if I can do that. Christy, monitor in the chat if I can pick Triple H as a wrestler or if he's too old and ancient.
Technically,
if
it's
not-
like you could probably do like a certain era of Triple H back when he was an active wrestler, because at the moment he's more just like ruining the company and running it into the ground as a manager.
You're right. Forget that. So we'll erase Triple H. I'm gonna go Tristan Casas and John Cena is gonna be my.
Boy, do I have some bad news for you. Are you
What?
sitting down?
Whoa! What happened?
What happened? Did something happen?
He no longer wrestles.
What do you mean? I saw him on TV like last week. He makes guest appearances.
Oh, man. Yeah, I did not see that.
You didn't. Oh, I see what you did there. You can't see him.
Millennial camera stare for people listening.
Well, wonderful to have you on, Hollee. Of course, big fans of Red Sox Twitter ourselves. Tell the fans where to find you, where your Rob Bradford interview will be, what your hashtag symbols, usernames are. Where can people find you?
So I'm pretty easy to find on the internet. I'm on Twitter and also Instagram under the same @ which is Red Sox Yapper, because it was pretty self-explanatory when I was creating the account earlier this year. I was kind of like, I like to yap and I like to yap about the Red Sox, so that's the lore there. And I did have an interview with Baseball Isn't Boring, which was like, if you're interested maybe more about like the history of like more detail of how I got into it, my opinions on certain things, that is available. I also just think that I'm very much just like, I'm just as much of a fan as anyone else, especially compared to people who actually live in the area and get to go to games in person. I've never been to a game. I'd like to, but like Australian baseball I have now, so that's close enough for me. But you get the idea. It's like, I just like baseball and I like talking about baseball. I don't think I'm necessarily like that interesting for interviews and shit, but I'm just like, hey, why not? If people like message me, be like, hey, do you want to like talk about baseball for an hour on a podcast? I'm like, there's someone I can actually talk baseball with. That's the whole reason I really created these accounts, because there was like, my parents were very much like, why do you keep talking about this thing that literally no one else cares about? You understand that no one else cares about this, right? And I'm like, I care about it. So that's basically why I've gone online to find other people who care about it, to kind of save my long-suffering friends and family.
Fair enough. Well, we definitely
Brilliant.
appreciate you joining us. Always a lot of fun. You're always welcome on anytime, especially, once we sign all those Sydney Blue Sox players and everything.
Yep,
So,
for the next 5
it's
nights.
the pipeline.
Of Hanukkah, 6 nights. of
It's the
Hanukkah.
pipeline, yep. But for fans listening, obviously, rate us 5 stars, subscribe, share, blah, blah, blah. But we do have a very fun interview that we will be recording tomorrow with Red Sox pitcher Hunter Dobbins. So,
Ooh, congrats.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
easily the biggest get that we've ever had on this program. So
Yeah, I'm gonna fight him.
yeah,
Come
yeah.
watch us mud wrestle.
But if you're
Ask him his
listening
opinion on
Draft Day-
professional wrestling.
you know what? Yeah, we might as well at this point. But if you're listening and have any questions for us, please DM us, reply to our post, anything like that. We'll probably be posting it later on this week so people can listen while they travel for the holiday season and everything. But anything else from you guys?
I want you to know that I love you.
Okay.
No, I love you. I love you. Bye.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't trade Hunter